What's up, guys? It's your boy. Tonight I got another video for you. Of course, you know I love like comic books and stuff. So, of course, in this video, this video is gonna be titled the top 10 Marvel and DC characters, that I want to get a game on next gen. Like I hope one of these, and I want them to be all open world. I don't want no mission based games. No, I want them to be all open world, and I got a list for the Marvel and DC characters. I'm gonna put them all on one list. If the first one is Superman, but / Shazam, and then Daredevil. So that's one. That's all on the number one thing. So I wrote down what I got. So for Superman and Shazam, I put it could either be like a team up game. That's how most of it's gonna be like. It could either be like a team up game between Shazam and Superman. The only reason I put them is because they got similar powers. They got different powers, but they're basically very, very, very similar characters. Well, so it could be a team up game, or I said since they're similar, the game could go either way. What I say for one person could be for the other one since they're so similar. But I want it to be an open world game. I want it to be a bunch of side missions. And for the villains for Superman, of course, you can have like the class of like Brainiac, Lex Luthor. You could put Doomsday. Yeah, you could put Doomsday. Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's up there too. Doomsday, Darkseid. But I feel like Darkseid, he's a Superman villain. But I feel like that's more of Justice League. Like if they have to fight him, it's gonna take it the whole team. But I mean, they could still have him in there. You never know. It could damn near be like kind of like a low key Justice League game. Like if you want to put some of the characters in there, that's what I want for all these lists that I have. I want it to be, I may not have written it down, but I want it to be like have some of the other characters. Like I want it to all be a connected world because like that makes sense. Like it should be a connected world. It should be a connected world. If you have one game about a character, it should be other heroes that's in that universe there too. So yeah, I got the classic Superman villains. And then, or you can even do so I know y'all know some of y'all, they really know y'all shit, or not even really know y'all shit, just watch like the comics. I mean, watch the shows and shit like Superman and Batman animated series. Like, him and Batman, they had team ups and shit called World's Finest. That's what the episodes was called. So you could do something like that, like Superman and Batman have to fucking team up, and like they have to team up because like Lex and Joker, they made a deal or something. It's kind of like what it was in the episode and shit. Episodes, I mean. It's kind of like they was team up, so Batman had to come to Metropolis, or Superman had to come to Gotham and shit like that. That's what I got for them. And then if it was just a Shazam game, I mean, I don't really know Shazam villains besides Black Adam. That's the only big one I know. I only know Black Adam or whatever the dude y'all know from the movie, whatever the dude from the movie, that whatever his name was, he could be the villain for that one. Oh, I didn't even say Daredevil. So for Daredevil, he's Daredevil. I mean, of course, you want him to have it. You want it to be like, Daredevil, and he's with. I mean, you want it to be like a game about, Daredevil, fucking, and like you could have him team up with like fucking, because they're all around that area, like fucking Jessica Jones, fucking Luke Cage, motherfuckers like that, or the Punisher. Of course, his villains like the Kingpin or Bullseye, niggas like that, of course. Like, yeah, y'all know the characters. Y'all even a casual knows about like Daredevil and stuff. So like, yeah, that's what I would want for the Daredevil game, and I would want him definitely to team up with Spider-Man. Oh, and if I didn't say for the Superman one too, of course I wanted to be in the Arkhamverse, because of course we're supposed to have a new Batman game at the DC fandom that's supposed to be announced, which let's hope so, because I've been waiting for this damn game. Nigga, I grew up on the Arkham series, bro. I grew up on these damn games, bro. Like, this game came out when I was 15, bro. Like, it's been 5 years, bro. Like, we need a new game, bro. But, yeah, so it's supposed to be, I would want this Superman or Shazam game to be in that universe with Batman and shit, of course, to be connected. And I want this Daredevil to be in the Spider-Man PS4 universe, of course. And then, oh yeah, and I didn't say so, of course, if I have them in the universe, that means I want the Daredevil game to be made by Insomniac, like how they made Spider-Man. And then I want the Superman or Shazam game to be made by fucking it could be made by Rocksteady or Warner Bros. Montreal, who's making the Batman game, either or. And then for number 2, we got the Flash. We got Flash and the X-Men for the number 2 list. Of course, Flash villains like Reverse Flash, Captain Cold, Gorilla Grodd, niggas like, yeah, of course, again, y'all know who his villains are. Yeah, I mean, I mean, for a Flash game, you don't necessarily even have to. I mean, yeah, yeah, you could have a Flash game, but at the same time, he doesn't have to because if that's the case, then every single member of the Justice League could have their own separate game, which I would like. I would love that. But yeah, so of course with the Flash game, you want them to. I mean, it's the Flash, do Flash shit. I mean, of course you want to know about his story. Oh, but what Flash would it be? I think my favorite Flash is because you got like you got fucking Barry Allen, which is like what most people know. But what's the other one? Wally West. Wally West. Yeah, Wally West. I think I like Wally West a little bit more. And then for the storyline, I mean, you could do like a Flashpoint, Flashpoint story, but I feel like that would be too much just for the first game. I mean, if you do it, I love it. That's one of the best Flash stories. That's damn near the only one I know because I'm still learning about my comics and shit. Like I know shit. I don't know nowhere near like these real geeks. Like I'm trying to get up there on their level. But like yeah, you could do like you could do that storyline or I don't know. It's just a good Flash game. That's all I would want. That's all I would want. And then for the X-Men, X-Men are one of my favorite. That's like one of my favorite. Well, I can't say they're all one of my favorite groups in Marvel or in comics in general because I don't know. I love Wolverine. Wolverine is one of my favorite. He's in my top 5 super. I fucking love Wolverine. But I mean, I quite like the X-Men too, cause like I mean, I fuck with Storm. I fuck with Beast. The nigga. I like Jean. I like her as a character. I fuck with my nigga Scott. Like so, or should I say what's his name? Cyclops. I think they Cyclops. But yeah, for them, their villains could be like the Brotherhood, but it's a Brotherhood of Mutants. Y'all know who. Well, y'all might not, but y'all may not know the name, but y'all know who the villains are. Like fucking Juggernaut, Mystique, Magneto, niggas like that. Of course, like so I don't have to say that. So of course I would want for the villains, and of course I would want this to be in the same universe, just how I want for the Flash. I want it to be in the Batman universe. I mean the Arkham universe or the new Arkham universe or whatever. I want this to be in the this X-Men game to be in the universe of Spider-Man PS4, of course, made by Insomniac, and the other one, and then the Flash game, of course, made by Warner Bros. Or either or Warner Bros. Montreal or freaking or Rocksteady. But yeah, that's what I would want for the X-Men game. I just nigga make it fun. Yeah, there's multiple X-Men stories y'all can go by. Like yeah, just multiple X-Men stories y'all can go by. It doesn't matter, bro. Of course, have them team up with other. I feel like that's better if you have them team up with other characters. Like that's like one of my only things I didn't like about the Arkham series because like I understand you wanted to make a Batman story, but it's like you can't just act like these other heroes don't exist. Like nigga, Superman, he exists in that universe. Like the Justice League are characters in that, and well, they should be characters in that universe. Like of course, Batman's just not literally by himself. No. And then for the X-Men, yeah, of course you want team ups. Like I mean, you could team up with the Avengers, or you could do any type of story. I can't think of a lot of storylines for X-Men off the top of my head. But I mean, you could do the Dark Phoenix saga. But I mean, that's probably like one of the most well known ones about X-Men because I can't think of them off the top of my head. I know some, but I would have to look. I don't know off the top of my head. Okay, so that's number 2. For number 3, we'd have the Hulk. It's the Bat Family and Hulk in a Hulk game for the number 3. And of course, I mean, Bat Family. I mean, Batman and his family. I mean, so you get like Nightwing, Red Hood, Robin. Well, however you want to do it, you can have the multiple Robins. It depends, but like Robin, Nightwing, Red Hood, Batgirl. For this story, it could be. I mean, well, first do the villains. I mean, come on now, the villains would be Batman's villains. Like they fight the same people Batman fights, but. For this storyline in particular, I would do it. It's basically like everybody else is their chance to step up because how I have in this story and how I have for this game going is Batman's basically like he's out of town and he's because he is a part-timer with the Justice League, so he's out fighting with the Justice League and they're like let's say they're like off the plan, like they're fighting against Darkseid and stuff, so like they're on Apocalypse or he's just out of Gotham in general and they have to step up and it's like all the villains are like just messing up the city, and so it's up to them. And of course, this could be like multiplayer, or even if it's not multiplayer. I just want to be able to play as all of them, and so that goes for any of these team ups that I put. So like the X-Men, I would want to play as all the members of the X-Men. I want to play all the members of the Bat Family. My favorite is fucking Nightwing. I fucking love Nightwing. I just love him. I like him way better. I like Dick Grayson way better as Nightwing than I like them as Robin. 'Cause my favorite Robin is probably what's his name? Probably Tim Drake, because it was just the third one. Yeah, I like him. Uh, yeah, and then I like Red Hood too. Of course, Red Hood is cool, bro. He's a cool ass character. So of course that would be I would want to play as them and shit in the game. And then for the Hulk game, I mean, with the Hulk game, his villain, Abomination, Red Hulk, the leader, of course Hulk villains like and then of course this could be I would want this to be in the universe with Spider-Man PS4, and the same thing for the Batman game. But speaking of that, I mean they're supposed to be playable in this new Batman game. Let's hope the game is real. But even if not, this is still my wish list. I would want to be able to play as the Bat family, because we've already played as Batman enough, so I would want to play them. But of course for the Hulk, be in the universe of Spider-Man PS4 made by Insomniac. My favorite Hulk story, well, I know two of them. You got the World War Hulk, which is that the one? See, you guys can tell me in the comments. Is that the one where it's World Breaker Hulk? Because I don't know if I think that leads off of it from World War Hulk, because he gets sent to space by the Illuminati, the Marvel Illuminati, and then he goes to Sakaar. I don't know if it's Sakaar, wherever the planet is that he goes. He goes there, and then he becomes king and stuff. He's like a top fighter, and then I think he comes back to Earth because he's mad because what they did to him. I think he turns into World Breaker Hulk. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I would probably want that storyline. That's a good storyline to have for the Hulk. Because you just can't have this Hulk play like some of these, like we've already had games of these, but like I want like a real good open world version, bro. Like, I mean we had open world Hulk ones too, but like I want a better, clearer 2020 version, or whenever it would come out, a 2020's version of that game. I don't know. This is what I want. This is just all my personal opinions of games that I want. And then for number 4 is Aquaman game or a Black Panther game. They're similar to both royalty, just one's underwater, one's not. And guys, I'm not saying these games would be easy to make, because I understand that they take years. Just like, tell us that you're making this game and stuff. If any of these can be real. But yeah, so for the Aquaman game, I don't really know much of his villains. Some of these characters, I know the characters, but I don't know like all their villains. Like of course I know like Black Manta, and then it says Ocean Master. I don't even know who Ocean Master is. Like I'm not that big on Aquaman. Like he's not one of I like him, but he's not one of my favorites, no. But of course I'm trying to learn more about these characters and stuff, and their back, and I know their backs, all their backs, but I need to know more of them. I'm trying to learn more. In this game, I mean, it could look beautiful, bro. Like him go, like the aspects of going on the water and stuff, kind of like the movie and stuff. Like I feel like it would be a cool game to make, bro. It'd be a cool game to make. Now, I don't know how they would do it, bro. I don't know how they would do the swimming and all the fighting. I don't know how they would do it, but they could pull it off. Of course, I would want to make my Rocksteady or Warner Bros. Montreal. For the Black Panther game, of course, I would want it to be in Spider-Man PS4 universe. I want them all these to be a connected universe, of course. His villains could be Namor, Man-Ape, which I didn't know that's what M'Baku's. I didn't know that's what his like actual name was. And then you could do Killmonger. He could fight against Killmonger, Kraven, either or. I mean, they could all be. I would want all these villains to be in them, of course. But yeah, you could just. I mean, of course, you want it to be in Wakanda, and just. I don't even know what storylines you could go from it, but I would want these games like some of these that have movies. I wouldn't want them to just copy the movie necessarily, but I don't know. They would have to come up with a story, because I don't really know Black Panther stories like that. Some of these I don't know stories like of them like that, but I'm trying to learn, of course. And then but I would want to see Storm in it too, because in the comics I do know that she's his wife and stuff. I would want to see that, how that dynamic worked, and just I don't know. Or you could have what's the name? I didn't put it down, but you could have the white, what's his name, Claw or whatever. I think that's his name, Claw. You could have him in there too, like he's trying to like steal Wakandan tech, stuff like that. I don't know. They could go either however they want to do the storylines. I don't care. I would love all these games. I don't care. And then for number 5, I think it's number 5. Yeah, number 5, we got a Wonder Woman game or a Punisher / Blade game. So for the Wonder Woman game, of course, you could show her, what's her place called? Like it's like Themyscira, or however you say it. I don't know how you say it. But, and then of course her villain could be like Cheetah, and it says Maxwell Lord. That's what I wrote down. I know who he is. I know who that character is, because of Young Justice. I know who that character is. I don't know, just make the game fun. Make the game fun. I thought this would be easier for them to make because they could use like the Batman fighting style, and you know like how you counter, and so they use the Batman fighting style for this game. I like Wonder Woman as a character. She's cool. She's cool. I don't know, just make it fun. I ain't got too much of some of these. Like some of these I do, some of these I don't. I don't know as much about the characters. And then for Punisher and Blade, it could be like I said for the Superman one, it could be a team up game or it could be the separate solo games, either or, because they're kind of similar. Like Blade, well, I mean, Blade has powers and Punisher doesn't, but I don't know. I don't know. They're just kind of similar to me though. But like for the Punisher game, I mean, it could be them. It could be just like Batman. But what would he ride around on? I don't know, like a motorcycle or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, you could be like basically like Punisher, and you just going around, being an anti-hero, saving people, shooting motherfuckers. Of course, he could have the Batman type fighting style, even though this be made by Insomniac, but I would want it to be made by them. And he could team up, of course, because he's in New York, so of course he knows Spider-Man and fucking Daredevil, so he could like team up with Daredevil. I would want to see that in a Daredevil game or in this game, either or. I would like that. For the Blade game, Blade's a cool ass character, of course. My black people fuck with Blade. I mean, a Blade game, killing fucking vampires and shit, of course. I mean, it's not really too much I could go off for those two. And then for the number 6 spot, I got Teen Titans or Young Justice, Teen Titans or Young Justice game, and then Nova. So for the Teen Titans game, I mean, you could go off I don't care how you do the roster, you could go off of like the actual cartoon from when I was a kid, you can go off of that, or you could go off of their classic roster, like you could just however you want to do, however they want to do a Teen Titans game. Of course, I would want this to be in the Arkham universe. And for the Robin, I guess you could do like, if you want to do young, you could do like Damian Wayne as their leader, as their Robin, or if you could have it back in the past before Dick Grayson turns into Nightwing, so he could be the leader, or he could be the leader as Robin, or he could be like after as Nightwing as the leader, either or, how they want to do it. But Young Justice, another cart they could do like, well, I mean, Young Justice I'm going off of the cartoon, like the cartoon I watched as a kid. It came out when I was a little kid. I mean, yeah. I mean, they're very similar. Like Young Justice, basically like Young Justice League, and then you got Teen Titans. They're very similar. They got similar lineups. But I think Young Justice has more niggas. They have more of a team. If I go strictly off of like the cartoon. I mean, yeah, of course I'm going off the cartoon. But like, if all them on that team, that would be like a big lineup. I would want to play. Of course, I would want to play as them all. Play as all the characters that they however many characters is on the team in these games. I would want to play as them, of course. And the villains. I mean, I don't really know too much about the villains, especially Young Justice. I mean, Young Justice, I'm just going off of the show, so whoever the villains were on the show that's what I wanted in the Young Justice game. And then for Teen Titans, I mean, I know like they have like similar villains, not similar villains to Batman, but they kind of do. Like they'll fight against them. So I would want them to fight against fucking, of course, Deathstroke. That's like their like main everybody knows villain. And then if they want to go kind of off the cartoon, they could do like where they fight against Terra, introduce Red X, like that was off of the show, like, or the that one I forgot what their team was called, but they were like the other version. They weren't the other version, but like they fought against them a lot, and they had like that one dude with the little, he was like a tech dude, and I can't remember what they're called. I cannot remember what they were called, but like they had that one girl who had a crush on Cyborg, like that. That's y'all know what I'm talking about if y'all seen the show. That's and they were going off of the show. That's how I would want. That's what I would want to see in the games as the villain. And then for Nova, I do not know a lot about Nova at all. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but I just like him as a character because he's like a space, a space themed character from Marvel. I like him. I like how he looks. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really know who he was until I watched the Ultimate Spider-Man when it came out in the early 2010s. I watched that show, and he was on there as like a member of Spider-Man's team that was working for Shield. So of course, as I started to like the character, so I was like, okay, this is a cool character. I just don't know much about him, but I'm trying to learn, of course, more. And that's why I wrote down, I don't know who really know who his villains are. I don't know who. Like, I'm guessing he would, like, since he's in space, he would kind of be teaming up with Guardians of the Galaxy or like Captain Marvel. Like, I don't really know, but I just want to see him again. That's what I would want to see. That's the what was that? I think. Oh, I lost count. One. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, this is 7 right here. So we got Batman Beyond or Spider-Man 2099. So of course, Batman Beyond. I mean, I would want to go off of the show. You ain't gotta go off the show, but I definitely don't know none of his stories in the comics. All I know is his stories off of the show. Batman Beyond, that's another show from my childhood. Even though it came out when I was really, I would have been really young, like 1. Well, when it came out like 99, so of course I wasn't born until 2000. But I think it ended in 2001, so I was just 1 when it ended. So like, I definitely had to watch reruns of it. But it's a show I really watched as a kid. I love the reruns. I love the show. And so yeah, of course you could have him be Terry McGinnis. With this game, it could be basically like how they was gonna do that Damian Wayne game that got deleted. They got canceled, like where it's like after Arkham Knight or whatever. But I mean, it doesn't have to be after Arkham Knight. I just wanted to be, the Batman Beyond story. So like, it's off in the distant future, and it's playing at Terry McGinnis. I would just love that. As far as the villains, the same thing for Spider-Man 29. I don't really know the villains. It just, I guess the 2099 versions of whatever, of that one. But Spider-Man 29, I didn't know who he was until I played this game as a kid. I loved it. It was one of my favorite games. Played this game as a kid. That's how I found out about 2099. I was like, okay, this is a cool character. And so like, that's why I put them both on the list, because they're very similar. They're very similar characters. I mean, the stories are very similar. They're both in the distant future and stuff. I would want either or games for them. So it's kind of hard for me to tell the stories. I don't know. Of course, like I said, I'm trying to learn the stories. And then for number 8, we got a Venom game or a Joker game. Venom, one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, even though he's kind of like an anti-hero. I love Venom. I think he's a good-ass character. I love him as a character. In his game, of course, he would be in the Spider-Man PS4 game. Spider-Man PS4 universe, of course. I would want, and this, for the Venom, who's Venom in general, I would want it to either be, we know is like theories or whatever in Spider-Man PS4 that's going to be Harry, that's going to be that version of Venom. Or in this version, you could just do, it could just be like, it could be Eddie Brock. But more than likely, if I'm going to Spider-Man PS4, it would be Harry. That's who we think is going to be Venom in that game. So I would go off of that being him. And then he could stay being the traditional Venom, or like if he wanted to be Agent Venom, which I know about him, they could do that and have him fight against. But I would more likely want him to stay as regular. But I like the classic Venom better. But like in his game, it could be Carnage, which is his offspring, which everybody knows is Carnage. And then Toxin, I could put Toxin on the other symbiotes, because Toxin is like Toxin is like another symbiote that's like the offspring of Venom and Carnage, and he's supposed to be like even stronger than them. And then of course he could just fight against the other symbiotes. So basically it could be like he has to fight against Carnage and the other symbiotes, all those other symbiotes and stuff. I don't know much of the other symbiotes except for I think what's his name, Riot. I think it's one of those names, and I know Scream. That's like the girl, and I know that one. That's the only ones I know, because there's a bunch of symbiotes. And crazy thing enough, the ending of Venom is like he's kind of like the loser from his world, and he's like actually hot stuff. I said hot stuff. He has big stuff when he's when he controlling Spider-Man and stuff. When he came to Earth, before that he was like lame, but. Yeah, and in this game, of course, I would want him to fight. If it's gonna be based in the Spider-Man PS4, what's the name, universe, I would want him to team up with Spider-Man, of course. And so, how I was saying with Carnage and the other symbiotes, I don't know how we would do it, since this wouldn't be necessarily the traditional Venom where he's shot from the sky, the symbiote came from the sky. So how would we get the other ones? I don't know. I guess they would. I guess like if Norman Osborn is the one that's making the thing for Harry, he could like, I don't know. This works, so he wants to make more, and that's how we could get Carnage and other. I don't know. I'm just saying that's how I guess we could get the other symbiotes. I don't know. But yeah, I would want him to team up with Spider-Man, of course. And then for a Joker game, it would kind of be like he just going around being like a serial killer, like going around killing people. I mean, I don't know how and he'd have to like escape from the law, escape from Batman and shit, of course. And then I either have that part or I have different parts. I either have this part is him as a serial killer, or I put it could be like where the Joker, because I know the Joker's crazy, so he like did something really crazy to all the other villains, Batman's rogues gallery. Like he did something really crazy to them, and they're all on the hunt for him, and they all want his head, and he like, I don't know, it's like, I don't know how it would go. I don't know. I don't know how it goes. You could do like where he has to kill. He's trying to kill all of the members of all the other villains off to show like the Batman. You could do it like, okay, so it's actually 3 ways. So I could do like that where they're hunting him, they're hunting the Joker, or like I said, he's trying to kill all the villains. He's trying to kill for that third one. He could try to kill all the villains to show. You know he's crazy. That nigga Joker. He's kind of in love with Batman, kind of. So he could be like, oh, trying to show like, oh, Bats, I'm the #1 for you, and I only want to be your #1 villain. So he tries to kill all of them off or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how it would work. I don't know how a Joker game would work because that's crazy. It's Joker. So he's usually like, the villain you fight against, not like you play as. And of course you get Harley Quinn in the game and stuff. And I don't know. I don't know how it would work. I don't know how it would work. I decided I wanted to see one. And then I forgot. I'm sure lost count, but I know we're close to 10. But hold on. We got one. Got one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. So this is 9 right here. I would want a Static Shock game because Static Shock is another show I grew up watching as a kid. A Static Shock game or a Fantastic Four game. Of course, a Static Shock game I wanted to be in the Arkhamverse, of course. And you could play as Virgil. That's his alter ego. That's his regular name. Static Shock's regular name, and just a typical superhero game, fighting crime and stuff. And then you could have like upgrades and stuff, like where, like how most games are, like how most video games are, where you have upgrades. Even like how in the Batman games, like you keep bettering your skills and stuff. And you could have gadgets and stuff, maybe, because I know in the show he had like a smart ass friend, so you could have like different gadgets and stuff, and you have him on the little surfboard thing. And then in this game, I would also want it to be like where he's on his solo stuff, but he either team up with the Justice League or team up with the Teen Titans. Because in the show, he teamed up with the Justice League on occasions, but it made the Teen Titans were in the show. But you never know, he could like team up with them and have to help with stuff. It's just typical superhero game, of course. And then for the Fantastic Four, and for the what's the name game? Oh Lord, can be some water somewhere. The struggle is real. That is not no water at all. For the game, for that game too, I don't know who I would want as villains to be because I don't really know much as villains. I know him from the show, but it was like one dude had fire and one dude was like a little stretchy dude, but I don't know their names. But I guess I would, if we were gonna go off the show, I would have them in it. However they want to do it. And for the Fantastic Four, I would want his villains to be, like Doctor Doom, Galactus, etc. I don't know all the villains. But some of I looked on the list. Some of the villains are kind of like other heroes' villains and stuff. So like, those are just the big 2 I would want to see in the game. But they have to bring out Galactus to fight against. So it really has to be a big story. I can almost be like, for this story, necessarily they would have to team up with like other heroes and stuff for sure. Of course, I want team ups in all these games. Because they had to team up probably like Spider-Man and shit, or like some of like the space-bound heroes like Captain Marvel and stuff like that. And yeah, that's basically what I wanted for them. Some of these lists are gonna be very similar. Like I ain't really got much to say because it's just y'all know it's a super game. Y'all want them to do this story, just go back. And then for the number 10, we got the Green Lantern Corps. So how you say it? I forgot what's the full name, but it says I wrote down Corps. And you play as Green Lantern, of course, and all the other members of the Lantern Corps. My personal favorite Green Lantern. I like Hal Jordan. He's cool, but since I grew up watching, Justice League the Justice League cartoon, I like John Stewart, which the black dude. Of course, my black people again. I like playing as John. I would play as John Stewart, and fighting the Galaxy, fighting against the, Sinestro and his, his gang. Fight against them. That's basically what my list. It's not too much. It's just I didn't even have to write down on the other side. I just want, those are just characters that I want a game of, because since we got these amazing games and stuff, I would want I just want there to be other heroes and stuff. So I really hope these studios do this for at least one, or let me say, okay, one for each company for Marvel and DC. I hope they at least do one of these for these next, on these next gen consoles, because really don't have much superhero games, but the Batman games and then that one Spider-Man game, like open world. I mean, you have the Amazing Spider-Mans, but it was okay. I like playing those, but that was okay. But yeah, this is my personal opinion. Guys, let me know in the comments below what game y'all would want from characters, and of course, any suggestions for y'all want me to do next. I'm thinking to do like a review series on like movies and cartoons and stuff. You know, I mean like super cartoons or just cartoons in general. You know, anything you know that's nerd wise. You know, and of course, guys, like I said, I'm gonna have gameplay coming really soon for y'all. Like really soon. I plan to maybe start doing it this week. Yeah, this week, end of this week. Try doing, you know, actually playing some games for y'all to see and stuff. And yeah, just and also sum up to my main channel, Destined for Greatness. You know, just trying to get my channels big, both of my channels, and just, you know, make my dream of YouTube coming true. So thank you.